Marvelous. Good to see you. Some media outlets are reporting that the talks actually ended in a deadlock. Talk us through what went down.
Right, Felicity, what you should understand is that this is not the first time the Nigerian Minister of Labour and Employment is inviting the Nigerian Labour Congress for a sit-down so that they can negotiate on some of the issues raised by the Nigerian Labour Congress as it affects the Nigerian workers. Of course, we didn't expect the Nigerian Labour Congress to make an appearance today at the ministry. That's because the Minister of Labour had extended an invitation before, and the Nigerian Labour Congress turned it down. So when the Nigerian Labour Congress came for the meeting today, after some, greetings, the normal culture of greeting, at the end of the day, the meeting went into a closed-door section where the journalists are not allowed to monitor the technical session. So at the end of that section, journalists were invited into the conference room of the minister. And then the exact words of the president of the Nigerian Labour Congress, Joe Ajero, he said that both the ministry and the Nigerian Labour Congress, they have agreed to work out actionable solutions, to work out actionable plans that would enable them to, find a way to, mitigate some of the challenges as it affects the Nigerian workers. And that between the 2 weeks time frame earlier given by the Nigerian Labour Congress, that the federal government had agreed that the workout plan within that 2 weeks. So before the expiration of the 2 weeks, they must have come to a consensus of how they are going to, mitigate some of those issues and some of, the demands of the Nigerian Labour Congress. So actually, there was a consensus from the part of the Nigerian Labour Congress and, of course, the federal government that within the shortest time frame, they can also, they're also going to have other meetings where they will keep discussing on some of the practical steps they are going to take to, mitigate some of these challenges. But they have assured that these steps, they will finish it before the time frame given by the Nigerian Labour Congress. That was the position of both the Nigerian Labour Congress and that of the Ministry of Labour today at the meeting.
Okay, what is the likelihood that this 2 weeks time frame will not result to NLC insisting on going on strike? What was the sense that you got from that meeting? Is it possible that in 2 weeks time we'll be looking at maybe salary increment or better palliative plans?
Let me not circumspect, Felicity, because from the report I gave earlier on, you could hear the president of the Nigerian Labour Congress saying there is a trust deficit and that the government needs to do more to bridge that gap. And of course, that the meeting today, they have a mixed feeling about that meeting today, because this is not the first time they are going to have a meeting, not just within the level of the Ministry of Labour, but on a higher level with the president. If you can recall, about a month ago, the Nigerian Labour Congress took to the street to protest, and they went to the National Assembly. And remember, the leadership of the National Assembly promised the Trade Union Congress and the Nigerian Labour Congress that they are going to have a sit-down, they are going to talk with the executive and find a way, to curb most of these challenges affecting the Nigerian workers. And that 2 weeks they gave have expired. It's almost a month now, and nothing is done. So when the Nigerian Labour Congress is saying there is a trust deficit, it's because of some of these issues. If you can also remember, at the end of that protest at the National Assembly, that evening, the Trade Union Congress and the Organized Labour Union, they also met with the president, and the president also assured that they are going to do all they can, to find a way to mitigate some of these challenges. And from what you can see, the federal government had also brought out a 5 billion naira palliative fund and some of the things. But the Nigerian Labour Congress, they are saying that it is not enough. And if we could recall from that report, the president of the Nigerian Labour Congress is also talking about the current issue between the National Union of Road Transport Workers, where the police besieged their office and arrested some of the national officers. They're also talking about the minimum wage, that 30,000 naira cannot sustain a Nigerian worker with the way Nigeria is configured at present, with the economic realities, that 30,000 naira cannot, sustain a worker, and that government needs to make a pronouncement, need to upscale that. So at the end of the day, some of them are saying that this trust deficit, is coming at a time when both the Nigerian Labour Congress and the government, none of them, in fact, they are accusing the federal government of not coming to the table with clean hands. So, of course, they will continue having this type of dialogue.
All right, quickly, before we let you go, Marvelous, in that report, we were able to capture the grievance from the NLC chairman over the invasion of the NURTW, that's the Road Union Workers offices. What was the response of the minister to the concern raised?
The president of the Nigerian Labour Congress made a demand on the minister that some of the national officers of NURTW that was arrested, that they should free them before they start having any form of negotiation. And the minister promised that he's going to interfere on the situation.
All right, Marvelous, thank you very much for bringing us up to speed with developments in Abuja.